Good evening, everyone. Happy New Year. Peace and blessings to the family. It's me, Coach 67 Sports TV. Shout out to the awesome and amazing LDBC, Lions Den Boston community. Shout out to the Louisiana All American Sports Network. And shout out to the greatest university in the world, the Southern University, home of the mighty Jaguars. This is the Tailgate Party Season 1, Episode 21. Has Southern University found their starting quarterback? It's been a lot of buzzing going on in terms of the transfer portal, and I'm gonna just keep it a buck. I plan on being here for a good time, not a long time, you dig. But even with that being said, we got a lot of news to touch on. Let's see who we got in the chat. Man, salute the motivation to be a millionaire. You see, salute Coach 67, chat, HBCU family, and Jaguar Nation. He said, looks like we got some transfer portal news. Oh, without question. A lot. A lot of it. And he put, go Jags. Yes, sir. Go Jags, you did. Relaxing, calming rain. Salute to you, relaxing, calming rain. Say salute, Coach 67. Chat, HBCU family, and Jaguar Nation. Salute to you. He said the staff is doing a great job. Seems like the team is coming together nicely. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm gonna keep it a buck. I'm still cautiously optimistic because, especially after last season, I was so giddy, and I'm like, man, hey, SWAC West, then the SWAC Championship and the Celebration Bowl, and look how the bottom fell out. But even with that being said, Marshall Faulk has done a great job assembling a great coaching staff, and he's doing a good job in terms of getting good players and getting good players to commit to Southern. And go Jags. Yes, sir. Relaxing, calming rain. Salute to your family. Man, salute to my brother Jared 11 Green. Got the peace emoji, strong emoji, prayer emoji. Salute to your fam. Uh man, salute to Adrian Crook. He said, let's go. Salute to your boy Jay. He said, salute coach the Zion Chris. Got the Jaguar Nation in the buzz. This is exciting. Yes, it is, without question. Without question. I'm not even gonna lie, like, I got this news like early this morning. You know what I'm saying? And salute to my brother Jay Good. Happy birthday to Jay Good. I know he probably gonna come through, even if he catch it on playback, if he catch it live, whatever the case may be. I wish my brother Jay Good a very, very happy birthday. Salute to you. Me and him kind of been texting back and forth all day, and we got a lot of transfer portal news for, I mean, just in general. But of course, first and foremost, the big story. Former Madison Prep quarterback, ULL, University of Houston quarterback Zion Chris, has committed to Southern University. This was a big get. A lot of people talked about Ricky Collins potentially coming to Southern. That didn't happen. That did not come to fruition. However, I think it was a huge get, and everyone is excited about it. You know what I'm saying? Uh, I also saw Gordon McKernan, make a post about Southern University sports. Uh, so Zion Chris, uh, based on the little bit of footage I saw of him in terms of highlight reel and game footage, he seems like a perfect fit for the go-go offense. He's athletic. He has good touch on his passes. And I'm not gonna lie, he just seemed like the perfect fit. But of course, you bring one guy in, you lose another guy. former Southern University starting quarterback Jalen Woods has entered the transfer portal. And this is what he put. He said, Jaguar Nation, first and foremost, I want to thank God for guiding me through every step of this journey. Without him, none of this would be possible. I'm incredibly grateful for Southern University and the opportunity it provided me to grow, compete, and respect this program. Thank you to the coaching staff and most importantly, my teammates for pushing me every day and creating memories that will stay with me forever. After much prayer, reflection, and conversations with my family, I made the decision to enter the transfer portal. This was not an easy choice, but I believe it truly was best for me and my family at this point in my journey. With 3 years left for eligibility, I am confident this is the right step for me, for my continued growth as a student athlete, both on and off the field. Thank you, Southern, for everything you've given me. This chapter will always be a part of who I am. With gratitude, Jalen Woods. I wish that young brother well in his future endeavors. Uh, he, at a certain point, he played well. But I think he's right. It might be in his best interest because he has 3 years of eligibility left because he got hurt in the Bayou Classic, not this season, but the previous season. And then he got another concussion. So he got a concussion in the Bayou Classic, the 2024 Bayou Classic. This past season, he got hurt in Mississippi Valley game. So he still has that year of eligibility left. So he's 3 years of eligibility left. I wish him well. I think it's probably better for him if he goes to a team that runs a spread offense that's like a West Coast type spread offense, a timing type spread offense. For people that were saying he was a dual threat when he came out, I think they miscast him. He is a pure pocket passer that can run a little bit. He's really not a legitimate dual threat quarterback. But even with that being said, like I said, I wish him well, wish him nothing but the best. But the news has kind of been, it's been rampant. you know. Uh let's get back to the chat real quick before I continue other transfer portal news. Uh Adrian Crook said, "These standby will continue over into next week." LOL. Yeah. I think one of the players came. Adrian Crook posted that one of their players came back, but they still got 24 players in the portal. Adrian Crook said, "Kind of like the crisis." LOL. Well, Adrian Crook is hard. Man, salute to my brother Big Joe Townsend, standing on LDBC business, Mr. Old Hillside Bourbon. And of course, like I said, one of my previous live streams, it's a real smooth drink according to one of my cousins. And y'all go out and get you a bottle of Old Hillside Bourbon, strong and smooth. Salute to Big Joe. Man, salute to my brother Desmond Allen. He said, salute to my guy, Coach 67. Man, salute to you, Desmond Allen. Your boy Jay said, Chris is the Houston quarterback I've been bragging about in your chat without giving his name. This dude ran all over TCU and Kansas State last year. Hopefully he runs all over Houston this coming season. But yeah, but I'm not gonna lie, like everything I see, man, this young man is a dog. You dig? Desmond Allen said, my Jags doing big things. Yes, sir, they are. Our Jags definitely doing big things, shaking and moving out here. Your boy Jay said, I'm going to miss Woods, Frederick, and his trash offense. Did that kid no favors. Oh, big facts. I'm not even going to lie. I think had he not insist on just running this young man in the ground, and the crazy thing about it, even in the Bayou Classic, The Bayou Classic, you up comfortably. Instead of just running the ball, you gotta insist on running this doggone inside zone. It's like, come on, bro. Like, this dude is a play caller, just was so trash, bro. But salute to Jalen Woods. I wish him well in his future endeavors. From what I saw, he had a scholarship offer from, if I'm not mistaken, I think it was Howard. So, hopefully he lands in a good spot. And also, this was a poorly kept secret. We already knew what it was. Former Albany State quarterback, reigning SIAC Offensive Player of the Year, Isaiah Knowles commits to FAMU. We already knew he followed his head coach Quinn Gray to FAMU. Look like FAMU at this point is too early to tell. And I know a lot of Jackson State fans gonna be like, man, coach, you tripping. But I think early in the game, I think FAMU probably gonna be the top team in the East next year. So we know Isaiah Knowles is going to FAMU to follow his head coach. What else we got? Oh, Travis Terrell Jr. has committed to Purdue University. I wish him well. He was a heck of a punt and kick returner while at the oh yeah. So when it comes to Jalen Woods, it wasn't Howard, it was Hampton. So Hampton has offered Jalen Woods, hopefully he doesn't tarry, hopefully he doesn't linger. He makes his decision and get it out the mud quick, fast, and in a hurry. Your boy Jay said Coach Ben Miles just offered a Grambling commit. That's right in our back door. It's flipping season. Yeah, and from what I've been hearing, they're supposed to have this elite level wide receiver that's supposed to be making it official in the next few days that he coming to Southern. They didn't give me no names, but they say evidently Southern has a big fish in regards to an elite level wide receiver. So you got to say elite level quarterback. It's only right that you get an elite level wide receiver to go with it. So we'll find out who this young man is in a few days from what I'm hearing. Adrian Crook said, Coach, the cult members not going to speak in the chat. Yes, indeed. Joe in 1761 said, go Texans. All right, salute to you, Joe. Adrian Crook said, look at the boy got some white money. All right, all right. Your boy Jay said, LSU kicker just hit the portal in his room and he's coming here. Yeah, you talking about Aaron, what's his face? Shucks, I can't think of the boy name. It's Aaron something. But yeah, that's the LSU kicker. Supposedly him, and from what I'm hearing, a big time wide receiver. Salute to Kendrick Wicker. He said, any word on Andrew Body? From what I heard, he had a couple teams, well, a handful of teams made him offers, but from what I'm understanding, he wanted to touch at least $1 million. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. We'll see if he get that kind of bread. Hopefully, he goes somewhere where he could get him a bag for one. But more importantly, he's not just standing on the sideline holding the clipboard. Hopefully, he goes somewhere where he's going to actually play. He's going to actually play. He's going to do big things. He's going to stay healthy the entire season. And he does well enough to actually make it to the NFL. That's my hope for him. Your boy Jay said a Tulane transfer linebacker wants to come here too. Southern is extremely desirable right now. Oh, without question. I'm not gonna lie, like it's big things going on a bluff and on a yard, you did. Mr. Jag 1623, he said we need to kick a bad. Big facts. no disrespect to Nathan Zimmer, but I understand he was a true freshman, but he left a lot to be desired. I mean, in my personal opinion, he was better than Kenny Lee Pham, who left a lot more to be desired from a punt standpoint. But even with that being said, it's like, come on, bro. Like if Southern would have had a kicker, really, I'd have took the grounding kicker to keep it a buck. But if we could get LSU kicker, I definitely would be content with that. Adrian Crook say big stuff popping in Baton Rouge. Oh, on both sides of town, Adrian Crook. In Tiger Land, but more importantly in Jaguar Land, you know what I'm saying? Big stuff popping on both sides of town. And man, I'm not gonna lie, it's early, but I'm presently pleased and surprised with how well things are going. And I'm not even gonna lie, I can't even complain, you know what I'm saying? Coach Faulk and his staff, they doing their thing. So let me see some other transfer portal news. Let me check this real quick. Yeah, your boy Jay says Zion Chris was just the tip of the iceberg. It's supposed to get even crazy in a few days. Yeah, from what I'm understanding, your boy Jay, evidently is this big time wide receiver. Uh, the person that told me, he was like, hey, can't tell you names. Evidently a big time wide receiver. And I think he said a big time wide receiver and a big time I think defensive end. Big time wide receiver, big time defensive end. So get a big time wide receiver, big time defensive end. Hey, I'm cool with that. Andrew Cook said, BTA, the flunkies hiding in the chair. Like, hey, when it come to JSU, man, Adrian Cook is all gas, no brakes. Kendrick Wicker said, but does Southern have enough scholarships to give to everyone that's trying to come? Honestly, Jay Good and I talked about this behind the scenes. Truthfully speaking, I'm not even gonna lie. Like, quite a few of the starters last year didn't like the world on fire, and in addition to that, some of the backups weren't even playable, and you can't blame them for not hitting the portal because a bird in the hand is better than two in the bush. However, like Jay Good constantly tells me behind the scenes, he was like, you got to perform to keep the scholarship. Now, if you don't play well, they could take your scholarship and give you the boot. And the way he was talking, evidently, the University of Texas had a wide receiver who wasn't performing well, didn't play well. They pulled his scholarship. So at the end of the day, I don't know how it's going to all play out. However, if you constantly, getting big fish to bite and come through, you're not going to turn them down. So, I mean, I don't know. Angel Cook said, I bet Kerry up in here. Tell me Israel Kerry. Man, I'm not gonna lie. Hey, Crook harassing Israel Kerry all over the place. I said, God dog, Crook. Well, Crook was harassing Israel Kerry. I said, God dog. Your boy Jay said, there is a big time high school player in Monroe who has big time offers, who is extremely interested since we got Zion Chris. I don't know what position he plays. He might be the wide receiver that I've been hearing him, but I don't know. And Adrian Cook said Christopher Dukes soft behind also. Hey, it's all gas, no brakes. My brother Jared Lovin Green says Zion Chris is a true athlete that can play quarterback, not an athlete trying to play quarterback. So basically, what he's saying is he is not. He's not Bashawn McCray. Essentially, that's just what he said. He's not Bashawn McCray. So yeah, man, salute to T. Lathers, 1906. Salute to Teldron Lathers. Salute to you, man. I see you doing big things on Facebook, man. Salute to your family. Your boy Jay said he played wide receiver and cornerback. He is extremely shifty. Yeah, maybe he the guy I've been hearing about, but like I said, I've been hearing about quote unquote this big time wide receiver and this big time defensive end. From what I'm understanding now, the defensive end he could go from 0 to wide 9. So entire light scheme, I wonder where he fits and how they're gonna use him, whatever the case may be. But I mean, at the end of the day, it seems like they're doing big things in terms of the the players that they got on the hook that they're bringing in and that's coming through. So it's gonna be interesting to see. In fact, somebody was telling me about another player. Let me check real quick. Also, they got a breaking news: Presbyterian College transfer 5'11", 168-pound defensive back Nico Clark from Chandler, Arizona, has announced his commitment to Southern University. Go Jags! So Southern University got another one. Defensive back Nico Clark from Presbyterian College. So I'm gonna have to go check him out. Honestly, Cook, I don't know. I don't know who he is, but evidently, Coach Faulk and staff wanted him. Uh, your boy JC, Xavier Spencer, who was our starting corner next to Eric Reed, hit the portal yesterday. Oh, Xavier Spencer hit the portal too. All right, but hey, Jalen Woods, Xavier Spencer. So to answer Kendrick Wicker's question, it seems like as the days progress, more and more players are hitting the portal. And since more and more players hitting the portal, I'm thinking it's going to open up spots for players that you need to bring in. So, Nico Clark, hey, if Coach Falk and staff wanted him, hey, he must be. All right. He's saying who that talking about beating them Jags. All right, Adrian Cook, I got you. He said who that said they're gonna beat them Jags. Hey, the way it's looking, but I kid you not, I said this on my channel, and I still think it's a stretch. But one person told me behind the scenes, like when Coach Falk, prior to him even assembling his entire coaching staff, he was like, "Man, Coach, I'm gonna just keep it real." He was like, "Man, Southern gonna be able to beat every team by like 8 touchdowns." I'm like, "Come on, bro." So Southern gonna be able to beat every HBCU team by about 8 touchdowns. I'm like, bro, that's like a huge stretch. Like, man, Coach, I'm telling you about, you're gonna see. I'm like, bro, like even if they get all the big fish that people telling me they're gonna get, even if they're able to land all of these guys, being able to beat every other HBCU football team by 8 touchdowns is a stretch, bro. Like, man, Coach, I'm telling you, bro. I'm like, all right, bro. Like, I like the confidence, and I like what you've been hearing behind the scenes. But 8 touchdowns, every other HBCU team, like, nah, hey, that's a stretch, bro. Your boy JC, he's manly going to play special teams. He's extremely raw. He has elite ball hawking skills. Though, give him a year or two to develop. Yeah, and I'm not gonna lie, like I've been hearing that about I've been hearing that about, a couple of the players, the high school players that they got coming in. Like some of these players gonna take time to develop, but more than anything, most of these guys that coming through the portal, those gonna be like your key players, your star players. And I was telling somebody this too. Like people just think like literally every single player that Southern brings in is gonna be a superstar. And I'm like, bro, that is unrealistic. Like you need role players, you need key contributors. Every player can't be a superstar. Just imagine. Let's take a Southern University offense. We're gonna say just wide receivers, right? You run a spread. We're gonna say every wide receiver that Southern would have would be like Micah Hayes, Jamari Stewart, James Vernon, Chris Davis, Alfred Ord, who else? Willie Quinn, Lee Dawes. Man, every single receiver is not gonna be a superstar. Like you asking for too much. Every single offensive lineman to be, Jatari Carter, Dallas Black, Jeremiah Stafford, Damon Nivens. Like every single offensive lineman is not going to be all world. Or every defensive lineman is going to be like DeMarcus Miller, or Gillis Wilson, or Kelby Givens, or Taj Brown. Like every single guy is not going to be all world. Every single defensive back ain't going to be Sean Wallace or Jerry Wilson Jr. or Nias Williams and Mel Blunt. So the expectation to have every single player be a superstar and you not have role players and not have people that's going to be able to contribute, like, it's insanity. Like, you're going to need some role players. You're going to need some players to play special teams, like your boy Jay said. So I think some people have, like, unrealistic expectations. I mean, don't get me wrong. The way things are looking is looking very, 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 very promising. However, even with that being said, you can't expect like literally every single player to be first team all SWAC. Your boy Jay said he's getting starters and depth players. He's going the opposite of what Graves was doing. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. The thing I like is just use Zion Chris for example. He started 7 games for the University of Houston. Like, this kid is a baller. And not only that, you're looking at footage of him at ULL, and basically it's like he not getting guys the way Dooley and Graves did, guys that had limited footage. Like, for example, and I used this example once before, Dylan Moroder, no disrespect to Dylan Moroder. Dylan Moroder basically used practice film footage and spring game footage to get offered by Dooley. And I'm like, bro, like, where is his game film? Like, there was no game film of Dylan Moroder. Basically, they used transfer when they got him out the transfer portal. Basically, they used his practice film and his spring game film. And I'm like, bro, like, what are we doing? So yeah. Oh, Tedron Leather said Lunda Wells and Perry Davis were dog offensive linemen too. Oh, big facts. Big fact. Well, I'm not gonna lie. I wasn't naming every last one of them, but of course, Jay Good and I was talking behind the scenes in terms of, I've done a lot of these top 10 lists. I need to get a top 10 offensive lineman list. Me and him kind of, was spitballing some names behind the scenes. That's gonna come at some point. But you're right, yeah, they definitely were dogs. But I was just spitballing names off the top of my head. You know what I'm saying? In fact, really and truly, of course, and we talking about just offensive linemen from the P. Richardson era to now. Of course, Jatari Carter got to be at the top of that list. But I'm not gonna lie, like Lunda Wells will probably be a little bit higher than maybe, in my opinion, probably be a little bit higher than Dallas Black and Jeremiah Stafford, in my personal opinion. But yeah, but those are some good names too, though. You know what I'm saying? Man, salute to SU Jag. 98. Salute to your fam. He said driving home from the mini dome after the refs gave this game to PV. Go Jag. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I'm being honest with you. These SWAC officials suck. I mean, these SWAC officials are terrible. You know what I'm saying? And salute to the brother C. Wells. C. Wells talking about this all the time. He like, man, coach, it's not just in football, it's in all sports in the SWAC. So man, I don't understand how the SWAC got so many like terrible officials. And the crazy thing about it is, like, one of the last games, I think the last game we did, Madison Prep had a playoff game. And, shout out to my co-host, Eric Hatfield, in terms of, doing the play-by-play. He and I are the two that, you see us at midfield at A.W. Mumford Stadium, P. Richardson Field. That was during the Madison Prep Southern Lab game. The game I got to actually talk to Herman. He and I talked to Herman Bristol the second after the game. But one of those officials that was officiating that game for Prep, they actually officiate SWAC games. And I'm like, how this dude actually doing a good job in the high school games, but he turn around and getting SWAC games and is a trash ref. So I don't understand that for the life of me. And like I say this constantly. The officiating I see on Friday nights for those Louisiana high school athletic association referees, they consistently do a better job than the SWAC officials. So, I mean, I don't know. It's just saying to me, these SWAC refs are garbage. They trash. They better be lucky I ain't commissioner, because if I was commissioner, I'll fire every last one of them. No questions asked. You know what I'm saying? Your boy Jay says Zion Chris actually has FBS tape and has tape of him beating the FBS schools. Oh, yeah, big facts. Big facts. Jared was saying in the chat earlier, like, hey, he did this to TCU, he did that to this team, that team. So without question, you know what I'm saying? Mr. Jag 1623, salute to you. He said Lunda Wells, Perry Davis, Big Chad Green. That's when I was on the yard. Yeah, see, I ain't gonna lie. See, y'all throwing out some of these names. Y'all gonna make me put together a top 10 Southern University offensive lineman, Pete Richardson aerodynamics. I'm not even gonna lie, like y'all. Hey, y'all got my wheels spinning. You know what I'm saying? Your boy JC, Houston fans were saying this year he had a shoulder injury too, and the coach just basically recruited somebody over him. So no telling how good this dude is when healthy. Wow. If he putting up, stuff like that and he wasn't even healthy, dang. So yeah, so I mean, they doing their thing, you know what I'm saying? So I mean, it's gonna be interesting to see what other big names Southern University could bring in. I mean, but you got to get, you got to get more dogs. The more dogs, the better. I don't know him. I mean, I'm looking at even WAFB report. Houston quarterback, Baton Rouge native, expected to transfer to Southern. So yeah, so I'm not gonna lie. Man, salute to Jaguar Fantastic on X. He said we're building something special here, and we'd love to have you play for Coach Marshall Faulk. Go Jags. You replying to somebody. But I mean, like, they're doing big things. Getting good players. Your boy JC, Marshall Faulk has truly resurrected the fan base. I saw a bunch of fans recruiting Andrew Body. Hey, now the thing about it, your boy Jay, if Andrew Body legit won $1 million, yeah, I ain't gonna lie, that might be that one there might be tough to pull off. I'm not saying Southern would be to get in the Brady looking for. But I mean, hey, a meal, that's a bag thing, you know what I'm saying? So I mean, I don't know. Time will tell from what I'm understanding. He got some offers from some lower tier FBS schools. So, we'll see how things play out, but hopefully he end up getting the bag he looking for. Not only getting the money he looking for, but also getting the money he looking for, and he goes somewhere and he's actually a starter. He's not just holding the clipboard. That's the main thing I want for him. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't go somewhere and be, you know, a guy holding the clipboard, whatever, whatever. So, hopefully it work out for him. And not only that, but I want him to get his money, go somewhere, play well, and actually make it to the NFL. SU Jag 98 say, I don't trust his health to give him a bag, Andrew Body. Oh, yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna be honest with you. I agree with you. He is injury prone. SU Jag 98. I'm not gonna lie. He definitely injury prone. However, when he healthy, he a dog. But you right though. Your boy JC. WFB barely ever reported Southern transfer portal news. Marshall Faulk is truly different. Oh yeah, without question. And I'm not even gonna lie. So many times over the years, both WAFB and WBRZ, they done both tick me off. Even the Advocate. And for those individuals that don't know, the Advocate is the local newspaper here in Baton Rouge. WBRZ is local news station, Channel 2, and WAFB is a local news station, Channel 9. And my issue and gripe with them over the years has always been, you have instances where, when they come to report news, let's start with the Advocate first. I remember one year, like Southern was doing big things. Southern was undefeated. And LSU had a bye week. And in a newspaper, instead of them giving a big color picture to Southern, whereas LSU was like a middle of the pack SEC team, and Southern was the number one team in the Sheraton poll. Basically, they had a huge color picture of LSU for an upcoming game that they had the following week. And they had a little small black and white picture of Southern after they got a huge swag win. I can't think of who it was. I don't know if it was like Jackson State or somebody else. And I'm like, man, this makes me sick, bro. And then on top of that, when the news actually came on, WAFB and WBRZ, they both, when it came to they did the news portion of the sports section of the news, I'm sorry. When it came to the actual sports section of the news, they spent the lion's share of the time talking about LSU the following week. LSU didn't have a game that weekend. They spent more time talking about the Saints, and they only talked about Southern for like 15, 20 seconds. And I'm like, bro, Southern had a huge win in all three of these news outlets. The newspaper, which is the Advocate, WBRZ, WAFB, they barely talked about Southern. They talked about LSU the vast majority of the time. Then they talked about the Saints. And then they were like, hey, we can't talk about Southern. We'll catch y'all on the news tomorrow. And I'm like, man, y'all some scumbag pieces of trash. So yeah, they definitely made me sick. Your boy Jay said if Graves is truly working on campus, somebody please keep our big time recruits away from him. Don't need him scaring them away. Hey, like my brother 7 Sports TV said, tell me, yeah, man, don't be bringing your bad juju around here. Yeah, yeah. Kendrick Wicker said that chick Mia Monet from WBRZ been advocating for Southern. She been on the yard heavy this year. All right, that's what's up. So, yeah, because from what I'm understanding, I think she graduated from Southern, Kendrick Wicker, and I'm not even mad at that. I'm not mad at that, but But I mean, over the years, and we talking about going all the way back to like the mid-90s, like WBRZ, WAFB, they ain't been giving Southern their fair shake as far as I'm concerned. Southern needed to get more coverage when it came to the local news stations. And not only the local news stations, they needed more coverage when it came to the Advocate too, because I'm not gonna lie, the Advocate, they some busters and some suckers like you see them too. And another thing I used to hate, but WAFB and WBRZ, I'm about to switch it back to Southern in a minute, but I used to hate when something happened in Baton Rouge, and it's like they'll always go around and find the most hood, the most ratchet individual they can find, and interview that person. Now you can have some educated people around, and instead of getting one of those people, it's like you got to find the most ratchet individual you can find, and you interview them. And I'm like, bro, you cannot tell me they didn't intentionally do that. They didn't do that on purpose. And that's the thing that used to just make me sick. And somebody else brought this up too. They said Houston will host Southern on September the 12th. So he going back to Houston. Hopefully he wear him out, hopefully. Salute to Franklin K. He said news never do HBCUs right. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. When it come to WBRZ, WAFB, and the Advocate, not only do they not do HBCUs right, but they don't do black people right as far as I'm concerned. Like, they really make me sick, both of those news outlets, you know what I'm saying? Man, salute to my brother Jay Good. Happy birthday to him. Hopefully you enjoyed this birthday and you see many, 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 many more. My brother Jay Good, like I said, we pretty much talking behind the scenes when it comes to Southern University football all day. You know what I'm saying? It was back in the building for me today, but we didn't have no students, so I know they're coming back from Christmas break. Business probably gonna pick up, but hopefully not. But we'll see how things play out. But yeah, he definitely keep me posted with all the, stuff from Southern University. In fact, he was the one that sent me the link when it came to Nico. What's his face? Nico. Let me check again. I think Nico Clark. Yeah, so he been sending me individuals like Isaiah Knowles, just constantly sending, you know, stuff on X. He way heavy on X than I am. Hey, I post my link, to my page and things of that nature, but he's super heavy on X, you know what I'm saying? He said, thank you, man. Appreciate you, fam. Salute to you. Happy birthday to you. Your boy Jay said, even this past Bayou Classic, Southern got 45 seconds on the news promoting their win, and LSU got like 30 minutes about their loss. Oh, I'm not gonna, like I said, your boy Jay, they make me sick. I mean, this hasn't been something that just started like a year or two. It's kind of been ongoing for years and years and years. I'm talking about even when Southern was at the top of the SWAC, not just top of the SWAC, but top of HBCU football. There was the number one team in the Sheraton poll. And LSU with Mike Archer was like a middle of the pack SEC team. And on top of when they got Jerry DiNardo, they started trending in the right direction. But once they got Nick Saban, it was over. Like, it was over for real. I'm like, dang, bro. Like, that's all y'all want to do is talk about LSU. So, you really start to see, even with Mike Archer, they talked about LSU the vast majority of the time. But once they switch to Jerry DiNardo, he kind of opened the door for somebody like Nick Saban, because somebody like Saban was like, hey, hell, if he did that with that, man, let me get in there. And guess what? Saban came through, kicked the door open, and just been doing that, and just was doing damage when he was at LSU. But yeah, your boy Jay, you right. I mean, that's the thing that made me mad. I can't think of who Southern and who LSU played, but you right. LSU, I think LSU lost this year. This particular game. This was years ago. They spent like you said, like a whole 30 minutes talking about LSU. And they talked about Southern for like 30 seconds. And then they were like, yeah, we're gonna talk about it in tomorrow's newscast. And I'm like, bro, like it's the 10 o'clock news. You spend all this time talking about LSU. You talk with the Saints for a few seconds, and you talk about Southern for even less. They didn't even have time to talk about Southern. And I'm like, bro, y'all make me sick. Y'all disgust me, bro. But yeah, but to keep it a buck, it is what it is. Your boy Jay said if Southern wins 10 games this upcoming season, and we will still get 45 seconds, I hope Coach Faulk calls them out about it. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna be honest with you. And even though shade to Kevin Baptiste, because just like Kendrick Wicker was saying earlier, he was saying Mia Monet advocate on WBRZ for Southern. From what I'm hearing, Kevin Baptiste, he kind of similar too. But even with that being said, of course, I know a couple people that really don't rock with Kevin Baptiste for whatever reason. I don't know. One of my people, Casio, he was like, man, hey, man, he be tripping sometimes when he come to them Jags. But, that's another one. Salute to Casio, you know what I'm saying? Been rocking with the channel, you know. But at the end of the day, it's like, bro, they gotta give Southern they just do. And I wouldn't even expect it to be 50-50 time. I mean, just give Southern the right amount of shine, you know what I'm saying? Because, Coach Faulk, he doing this thing, he put together an amazing staff. And not only has he put together an amazing staff, but they out here landing big fish. So if they landing big fish, it is what it is. And I mean, I think the only thing that'll probably get Southern more time is if Southern went to Tiger Lane and beat LSU. But the last time they went, I wasn't too happy. Southern fumbled the opening kickoff. I'm like, bro, what are we doing, bro? Then after that, guess what? Jay Daniels, it was like 3rd and 10, and he got a nice run. So LSU ended up scoring a touchdown, and the floodgates open. So I think that's the only way probably Southern to get their just due. But of course, they're expecting Lane Kiffin to do big things. But either way, at the end of the day, I think the program is definitely moving in the right direction. The program is moving in the right direction, and Coach Faulk, he's assembled a great staff. They're bringing in recruits by the day, and it's going to be interesting to see how many more blue chip players Southern is able to bring in. SU Jaguar 98 said Baptiste was on campus for the Faulk press conference, and he was kind of excited. I think the last 2 years, he have been pissed off. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna be honest. You could tell, he one of us, and he was on the Jaguar Journal with Perry White. Salute to Perry White. But at the end of the day, I think we just need to get our fair shake. And just imagine if we having this issue here, just let's go to Texas for a second. I'm almost certain Texas Southern and PV, they having the same issues when it comes to like the University of Texas, Texas A&M, Texas Tech. I'm sure they're not getting their fair shake either. And then you go to the state of Mississippi. I'm almost certain it's the same way when it comes to Ole Miss and Mississippi State. When it comes to Alcorn State, Jackson State, Mississippi Valley. So I already know like HBCUs across the board. They're not getting their fair shake. You know what I'm saying? But even with that being said, I'm getting ready to shut it down in a little bit. This was a great live stream. But more importantly, I like the excitement that Jaguar Nation has when it comes to Coach Faulk and his staff in terms of the staff Coach Faulk has assembled, the players he's bringing in, and like I said, it seems like day by day by day by day, they bringing in, some good players, some players that are gonna be starters, other players gonna be key contributors, and other players gonna be star players in terms of first, second team on swag. You know what I'm saying? Your boy Jay said Grambling fans have been upset and vocal with recruiting. They barely landed anybody. If we flip their wide receiver, it may get crazy. Hey, that's gonna be interesting. I mean, the whole Ricky Collins thing. It seemed like he was, you know, headed to Southern, but ended up going to Grambling. But hey, and that's the thing about it. Like Mickey Joseph, his background is recruiting. Jay Good said, I think he just expects more and wants SU to be better. At least that's what I get from his reports. No rose-colored glasses when it's not warranted. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Uh, SU Jaguar 98, said Coach 7. I think we could be more transparent too. We were never clear about the Jalen Woods whole season. And I'm not gonna lie, SU Jaguar, like you bring up a very interesting point. Like Jay Good and I talk about this all the time. Southern has never been synonymous with full transparency. Whether it comes to like certain players being injured, supposedly, Graves didn't really, he didn't really pound the table about it, but Southern had a lot of injuries that we were unaware of, from my understanding. So that's one thing. But even when it came to like the whole coaching search, like I had been hearing rumblings behind the scenes. You know, that's kind of even why when my partner, was telling me about the 90 plan, like he kind of swayed me on Coach Faulk then. And of course your boy Jay, he kind of was pounding the table too. But at the end of the day, like there were rumblings behind the scenes when it came to the whole Coach Faulk situation. But Southern as an institution was never fully transparent until after the fact. And that's one thing I like about Tony Clayton. Like at least he kind of talking to the people. He's being more visible and he was on Brown's platform. Carlos Brown, he was on his platform. And at the end of the day, I think Southern is an institution. They need to be more transparent because that's one thing they have never been synonymous for, even with the practice, like the inner squad scrimmage. Maybe they knew this team wasn't as good as they were saying. They had, they had you know, they closed off the second half of the scrimmage. The first half was open to the public. Second half they closed it off. So at the end of the day, it's like, come on, bro, like they have not been synonymous with full transparency. Your boy Jay says CBS Sports is reporting on SU recruiting. We never had national media coverage like this. Oh no, not at all. And like I said, even when Southern was like ranked in the top 10 of the 1AA poll, is the FCS poll now, and of course, the FCS national championship game was on tonight. But even back then, you really didn't have that kind of coverage. So I'm definitely happy to see that Southern is getting some exposure, is getting much needed attention, and hopefully, like Coach Faulk and staff continue to land big fish, continue to get players that they believe fits into their scheme. Hopefully they get some dogs up front on both sides of the ball. Hopefully they plug all the holes in their defense. So hopefully you can have your elite level quarterback. You can have some dogs up front on both sides of the ball. You have an elite level defense. You have a good kicker, good punter. Seems like they got the punt kick return already sold up. So I'm just optimistic about the way things are going. You know what I'm saying? Your boy Jay said, yeah, I didn't like Graves acting like he was Nick Saban closing all practice and stuff in the spring. Well, I'm not going to lie. I think kind of low-key, maybe he knew his team wasn't as good as he said it was going to be. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. He's no longer the head coach. We got Coach Faulk. excellent staff, doing a good job of recruiting. And that's the main thing I want. But that's it for this live stream. I appreciate everybody that came through and, just come check out the live stream. I appreciate everybody that's going to catch it on playback. And Jaguar Nation, we have a lot to be excited about. I have not seen this much excitement around the fan base in a long time. And like I said, every subscriber, every individual that's rocking with the channel, every subscriber, every member of Jaguar Nation has been supporting the channel. I just want y'all to know y'all are greatly valued, greatly appreciated. SU Jaguar 98 say Clayton told Faulk he wants the best quarterback and the best place kicker in the SWAC. Yeah, and he said that on Carlos Brown's show. But the thing about it is, even if you would have had an elite level kicker and an elite level punter and an elite level quarterback this past season, those three things alone wasn't going to get Southern over the top. Like, you got to have the line play up front on both sides of the ball, and you got to have the defense. So even if you'd have had a healthy Andrew Body, he could have stayed healthy. Behind Southern offensive line, he was going to get hurt. He would have been bound to get hurt. And even if he didn't get hurt and he was able to stay healthy, even if you had Andrew Body and Trey Holly with this past season, it wouldn't have been enough to get Southern over the top. But I mean, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Your boy Jay said the rest of the week is about to get real interesting. Stay tuned. Oh yes, sir. And I'm gonna be here to talk about all of it. I might drop a video. I'm definitely gonna have another live stream on Saturday. But I appreciate everybody that came through that showed love. I'll catch y'all on the rebound. Y'all have a blessed and phenomenal evening. I'm definitely gonna be back this weekend. Maybe about Wednesday, I might drop a video. So y'all stay tuned. Catch y'all on the rebound. Peace and blessings to the family. And go Jags, you dig?